two reasons in terms of this trip why this mountain range, the Pamir mountain range, is kind of cool, and it's good to have at the end of the trip to kind of wrap it up. The first is that the Pamir range is really important in terms of the Silk Road. You remember Samarkand, obviously tons and tons of wealth, the same with Bukhara and Khiva. The reason why they were so wealthy is because overland trade had to go overland from China to the Middle East and Europe, and the Pamirs and the Hindu Kush, which are a bit further south of here, were in the way. And so one of the ways they could get past the Pamir mountains was to go north past Samarkand, and that meant that Samarkand was at the junction of east and west, and it made it really, really wealthy. The other reason why this is a really great place to kind of have at the end of the trip is because all these glaciers melt, the snow melts, comes down into this river, and that then flows out into the Amud area, and from the Alay Mountains it flows into the Sirt area. Now those are the two big rivers which flow all the way across the steppes and the deserts of Uzbekistan and Turkmenistan and end up, or should end up, in the Aral Sea, where we started this whole trip. These mountains, for me, somehow, it's been a really good thing to look forward to, because the whole way through my trip it's been kind of leading up to these mountains, which have huge significance in terms of all of the things that I've done in the last few weeks. About 4,150 meters, and you'll remember that's how high I was when I made the video on the way up to Sarimogul Pass. And you'll notice that I'm not out of breath, I'm not dizzy, I'm generally pretty happy. The human body's an amazing thing. We've been camping and hiking at between 3,000 and 4,000 meters for the past week. During that time, our bodies have been producing more blood cells to carry more oxygen around our bodies, which means that now hiking at this height is no problem at all. Just a short walk now from Camp 1 of Peak Lenin, which is one of the stages that people are going to climb Peak Lenin, which is actually 7,100 meters high, 7,115 meters high, which is about 23,000 feet. It's a stage that they use to get up to the top of the mountain to acclimatise and move their stuff up. The sun is just, you probably can't see it, but it's just glimpsing through the clouds off the top of Peak Lenin. You can just see the sun shining on the snow. But down here it is absolutely freezing. It's probably -1 air temperature, and you might be able to hear the wind. I'm trying to shade it, you might be able to hear it though, which probably means it's about -5 or maybe even colder. But we've just had a really nice hot potato and chicken dinner cooked by the camp cook, and so a few mugs of hot tea, and so I'm feeling nice and toasty. And we also had a really great chat with a Russian climber, and we talked about Mont Blanc, which was nice. But yeah, it's very cold, so I need to go in now. I'll give you an update later when we are trying to climb Yahina Peak. So we are above 4,800 something meters, about 4,900 meters, which means we are higher than the top of Mont Blanc, and Mont Blanc is the highest mountain that I had ever climbed before. This is the very final bit of Yahina Peak. James is just finishing it off. We're on the top. This is the highest mountain I've ever been up. 5,100, and we couldn't quite remember, 5,135 I think, which I think is about 16,000 feet, but treat that with a pinch of salt, basically I have no idea. And the view, I've heard it before, it is amazing. There's one point where I actually got a bit of vertigo because it was just really steep scree. But good old James gave me some encouragement. We had a nice break, collected my thoughts, and we carried on, and here we are. It's pretty fantastic.